I'm sorry. Manar, who comes from Haifa, Israel, will speak first today. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, our honored guests. Man is the storytelling animal, as Graham Swift in his novel Waterland says. Ironically, my parents taught me not to be silent, to remain, not to talk, to remain silent and never tell stories. In a minute I will tell you why. But today, I decided I have to follow Swift's advice, because my story should be heard. My name is Manar Sarriyi. I'm an environmental scientist interning at the World Bank this summer. My family and I live in Haifa, a city in the north of Israel known as the Bride of the Coast. Located on the Green Carmel Mountain, Haifa's sandy soft plains, adjacent to the Mediterranean Sea, has the shape of an open hand, inviting you in to explore its beauty. Its people are a mix of religions, colors, ethnicities, origins, and they have been known for their acceptance to the other. The city that used to have a very good reputation of coexistence between its Arabs and Jewish residents is becoming, slowly and sadly, another hub of discrimination and segregation. More than 90% of the Palestinian families living in Israel today, who make up 20% of the Israeli population, have relatives in the occupied Palestinian territories. My family is no exception. In 1948, my family members were expelled from their homes and lands in Haifa, Palestine. Some managed to return, but most of them live in what's called today Palestine of the Green Line, or outside of the 1967 borders. My dad was raised in a one-bedroom in his father's working place with his other 12 brothers and sisters. My mom was raised in Jenin refugee camp with the rest of her 7 siblings. By the age of 18, married to my dad and moved to Haifa. Neither of my parents had the chance to go to school, though they learned many important lessons in the academy of life. With little scientific background, but lots of love and patience, my parents nourished me with the essential features of the Palestinian culture: the Arabic language, the tasty cuisine, and the attractive belly dancing. They taught me that all men and women were created equal, regardless of their religion, and that I should respect and accept others. They taught me great values that I'm very proud of. But they also taught me to be quiet, not to rebel, not to argue, not to oppose. When it comes to politics, identity, or conflict, they used to say, walls have ears. Whenever they knew I'm traveling, they would take me aside, whisper in my ear saying, you know. They never said more. They never explained. They never say what I know, what I don't know, what I'm supposed to know. Actually, there was never need to say more. Of course I know. I'm not supposed to talk about politics or the political situation, conflict, war, identity. These are taboos. My mom and dad are the second generation after the war in 1948. They lived under military rule, where they could be arrested for any suspicion of being engaged in political or national matters. Till today, every time we close the checkpoints in order to visit our family in the West Bank, my mom freaks out when she sees a soldier. Even if he's just an 18-year-old kid, standing there, bored, or even frightened than she is. My mom was never able to see the person behind the military uniform. but I could. First generation went through the Nakba, the Palestinian catastrophe, being uprooted from their homes and land, seeing their nation killed and split to many fragments. The second generation was, and still is, trapped in their childhood trauma, afraid of facing the same destiny that their parents faced. Silent and quiet, consumed by fear and trepidation. But there is a third generation, a generation that was born to a different reality, a generation that had the chance to experience different and even sometimes contrasting stories, a generation that is demanding a better future. That is my generation. Being able to speak Arabic and Hebrew fluently, being able to cross the checkpoints in and out freely, and being able to get the chance to live in a Reformed Jewish kibbutz, as well as in an Arabic neighborhood in Haifa, are experiences that either Jewish Israelis nor Palestinian Arabs can get, and sadly, not many Palestinian Israelis either. Their voice is usually not heard. Palestinian Israelis are a unique minority that has a lot to contribute to solving this conflict, and it is still seen only as part of the problem rather than part of the solution. These incredible, extraordinary life experiences that I had made me realize that I know something about coexistence. I learned something about this conflict from a younger generation, and I know what this new story should look like. The opportunity is there, and the third generation do not have to be trapped in the history and loss of the first generation. They don't have to live in the second generation's trauma. They can decide to live in the here and now, seize the opportunity that only the future can offer us. People say I'm a dreamer. I'm not the only one. People say I'm not realistic. People say I live in a big bubble. Well, I agree. I live in a bubble. But isn't this what every one of us seeks? We search through our entire lives to find and expand our bubbles. Bubbles that give us a chance and space, give us love and power, give us support, and enrich us to grow and expand from these bubbles to the world. So, thanks for all your supporting bubbles. Thanks for my host family who are here today, Joyce and Richard Schwartz, for their very comfortable, inspiring, generous bubble. Thanks to my supervisors, Abby and Tess from the World Bank, for my intern work experience. Without these people and many others, my story will never be heard. Last but not least, thanks to New Story leadership who brought me here to broadcast my story to the world. Thank you.